What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is your main man, Juggernaut of Multi-Platinum Production Team.
Arkatech Beatz.
Welcome to the music production live stream. We are here. We are in the building tonight. Sunday. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. He's just coming from the Max B concert in Brooklyn. I'm here in Atlanta. We're making it do what it do. Shout out to him. Make sure you're checking out that new Max B, French Montana, Coke Wave. Produced by track produced by yours truly, Arkatech Beatz. Me too. You gotta check that out. Tonight we get into some music production. We're doing some tracks, doing it in real time, live music production. I try to get together and try to just do some tutorials in terms of just trying to show people how we do this music production. If it's your first time here, make sure that you are commenting, and subscribing. We are responsible for your favorite rappers' production. Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy, Jadakiss, The Game, Max B, French Montana, and now Wiz Khalifa added to that list. Freddie Gibbs, Killer Mike, and so many others. Shorty Low. You know what I'm saying? Alley Boy, Meek Mill, you name it, we've done it. So we've been here for a while, man. We're doing what we do. I got a sample in here. I want to make sure that we are, we're getting busy really quickly. If you want to join the community, I'm going to put the music production community into the description. Right? You can follow us there. And you can get busy with that. But I'm going to share that information in a little bit. We have opened up a community that we can get a little bit more in-depth, show folks a little bit more. I'll be going over, contract stuff. I'll be going over just workflows, different production techniques, and different things that we use to do what we do over our career. So let's get busy with this thing. I got this sample right here. It's at 78 BPMs. It's like an 8-bar loop. Actually, it's longer than that. It might be 16. Make sure y'all sharing the live. Peace, Don. What up, man? We here. I've been working, man. If you ain't seen us, man, it's because we was working, man. We was finishing up this project with Max B, man. So, we just finished that up. So that'll be out soon. We got the Coke Wave out. So, we on that doing, with that smash record, Me Too. Yeah. Make sure y'all go check that out, man. Coke Wave is out right now. French Montana, Max B. Listen, you can't make this up, man. You just can't make this up. So look, we're gonna just get into this track right here. I pretty much got this. I got the parts in here. Different parts. Guitar, bass, guitar, string line. I'm gonna try to put these things together. Try to see how I can get it to go the way that I want it to go. But I have the individual parts already out. If you're looking for samples, royalty free, make sure you go to Splice. Link is in the description. Make sure y'all can do that too. You know what I'm saying? We do royalty free stuff because we don't like to deal with what? Sample clearance. We don't deal with that, man. Music can come out and you own all of your music. You own all of your publishing. Listen, this is real game I'm giving y'all. If y'all don't understand, this is real game. I'm giving producers real game in real time. Listen. Don't play around with these samples, man. You're cutting into your income. When you've been here as long as I've been here, you get to see the impact of that. Yeah, it's good to see Max B home, man. Welcome home, Max B, man. We did that Why You Do That for Max B. So, so it was only right for him to come back and, get another one from us. Me Too It was one of those records that he actually picked out while he was in prison. You know, that's a true story on that. So he already had that pretty much mapped out how he wanted to do it. So when he came home, that's the first thing he jumped on. And French heard it and said, yo, I got to get on that. And he got on that thing. And, man, it's crazy right now. The street's going crazy because of that. Coke Wave 3.5 Narcos out now. Go check it out. So I'm going to name my track right here. And this track has all my samples on it. And as I go from track to track, I'll keep naming the tracks as we go on and on. Right now the tempo is at 78. I'm going to lay down the first part of it. Free Society Beatz, what up, man? For those of y'all on YouTube, check the link in the description. The portal is open. I think I'm gonna speed this up. The community is now open. Make sure y'all jumping into that. All right, let's go. I feel like this is too slow. I'm gonna put it up one semitone. We're gonna do that. Now we just changed the overall pad performance scale and octave to match where the sample is at. It helps us to be able to play notes on top of it when we're ready to get it going. So let's jump into this now. Let's start adding a little bit. Let's get that secondary track in that has that percussion. I'm gonna just copy this track and I'm gonna name it percussion. I'm just gonna push this on, and we're gonna layer this as we go along. Back to our first track. Our first track is where all of our sounds are, and basically what you do is you're just gonna keep making copies of that track as we keep laying pieces of it down. We're gonna put the hats on this right now. Let's do that. We're gonna do a note repeat. I tend to do mine with note repeat, and then we're gonna lay that down at probably at a 1/16. And what I've also done is I've gone into a 16 level velocity. If you notice what happens as we go down, it goes from a higher volume to a lower volume. And it kind of helps to give us this kind of syncopation that, you know, you hear what drummers doing, you know, they can do things on velocity as they're playing the drums in real time. And we try to mimic that as best as we can when we're doing that on the drum machine. And everything is really about velocity and that type of stuff. He said the volume is oddly low. I don't know about that. Let me check. Let me see what's going on with my joint. It looks like it's about right tonight. But I can get it up a little bit. Pause. We could get in a, what you call it? Juan, what up, man? The portal is open, man. I just put the link into the description. Make sure folks are signing up. We're gonna be I'm gonna be putting in a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about over the last almost a year now. You know, we're gonna start adding in different courses, different templates, and we're gonna really go into this music business and this tutorials and these things so that people could really learn, you know, what's going on. You know what I mean, in terms of this business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get this hi-hat down. Different. We're gonna start at a lower velocity. Giving me what I want a little bit more. We're going to do an open hat. On 16 level hat. We're gonna do it on every 4, right? Let's go. All right. Gonna add a tambourine on it. Did I spell that right? Nope. Make sure y'all signing up at the new portal, school.com, Future Producer Society, man. For everybody who want to learn everything there, AI artists, music contracts, deal makings, brand sponsorships, you name it, we're going to tell you everything. We let go all the sauce over there. And if you're gonna learn from people that's really doing it in the music business for real. Let's go. Got the tambourine on 16 level. I ain't freestyling, man. Say that for the rappers. Let's add this snare on real quick. Ready? Let's go. EQ on it. I like to add parametric EQ. Use this thicken. You notice our snare is overloaded, so we gotta bring it down. Anything that goes into the red is gonna cause distortion. We want it loud, but we don't want it to distort. More effect on here. Gonna add a reverb. Let's get our kick in here. Get this beat going for real, for real. Make sure y'all liking the live, sharing the live. Let's go. My people in the chat, man, tell me where you're from. Rick, what up? Kaz, what up? That portal is open, man. Make sure y'all signing up, man. Let's go. Let's go to the next one. We're gonna do. This is gonna be the bass. Let's do the bass line. Shout out to everybody just jumping in the live. Listen, our portal is open, man. I've been talking about creating a space for the music producers, man, and we have finally done it. We have opened it up. It is now open. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to Kaz and everybody who's registering. Listen, let's jump into it. We're about to get really, 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 really busy in this portal. This portal is going to be to help iron sharpen iron. I'm going to be bringing in different producers for y'all to, interview with, Q&A with. I'm going to be doing different things, cook-ups, challenges, you name it. We're going to be doing it inside. We're going to be making sure we're getting the, this is going to be the place for people to learn and iron and sharpen iron. We're going to make sure we're doing that. And we're going to get a little bit more hands-on into it. And it'll be an environment where cats can really, talk to each other and really see what the situation is with this. You know what I mean? This is music business stuff. And we're trying to make sure that the people that's trying to get in it is going to get in it. You know what I mean? I want to go right into it being, I know it's 8 bars, but the way that I normally do it is I normally program just 4, and then we start copying to make things longer. Pause. But Listen, man, for y'all producers, make sure y'all jumping into the portal. It's school.com/Future Producer Society. Make sure y'all checking into that, registering on that. That is where we are going to be congregating. I would say this week, we're going to start, start loading up the content on it. And then I do have some things that's going to be calendared. Typically for certain members, we'll have stuff that's going to happen on weekly on Thursdays. For other members, weekly on Tuesdays. Then, longer sessions, VIP sessions for once a month. And those are going to be the places that we're having really deep discussions with a lot of different subject matter. Making sure we're getting all the real source, asking all the questions that you need to get answered. So I'm gonna add this guitar over here. This is probably one of the 3 guitars that's in this sample, and then we're gonna start leveling stuff out. And then also in the portal, I'll be going over how I made certain beats, because I can't really do it on YouTube per se because of the copyright business and all that stuff. But inside of the portal, I'll be able to go in depth and get those records on and show people what I did to do some of those records. The Me Too record was not done on the MPC. I know I'm sorry to break that to y'all, but that was actually a beat that was done in FL Studio. And I did that in FL Studio, and it was like FL Studio 9 or something like that, right? So you can basically know how old that track is. And I continue to say to you guys, the music isn't old. It just hasn't, the right people haven't heard it yet. Then that's really the reality of it. Is that the right people just didn't hear it. The people didn't hear it. The right people did not hear it. That if you go to our Instagram, that is part of our promo video. We use that beat for our promo video. And it has been our promo video for nearly a decade. So that goes to show you that there's no time limit on good music. If music is good, there's no time limit on it. I'm posting videos just today on Instagram of Max B performing Why You Do That in front of a sold-out crowd at the Paramount in Brooklyn tonight. And they're going bonkers for a song that is literally 20 years old. All I can tell you is, if you make it the way you're supposed to make it, it'll last, man. And that's really what I'm trying to teach folks here, man. We're trying to teach folks how to make that music that's gonna basically last that test of time, man. So let's go. Shout out to my man Rick, man. Let's get this guitar laid down real quick. It's too loud. I don't like that. And if y'all notice, what I like to do is I like to use 16 levels. And the reason why I use 16 levels while I'm making the beat is because I can get things closer to where I want it in the mix overall, and help me to save on some mix time. I need a name for the beat. Certified, what up? Shaggy, what up? Future Producer Society. That's where we're going to be doing a lot more of our music production tutorials for people who are really trying to learn this music business and learn everything about it from people who are really doing it. Sign up, man. Let's get busy. Let's add this string line in, right? Too loud. Let's do 16 level on it. That's about right there. Re-trigger it back in. One more. Chad, I need a name for the beat. Chad, I need a name for the beat. Let's go. Let's go. And now what I want to do here now is I want to add a little bit more low end. You guys know that I like to add 808s to what's happening now. And listen, this is how I bridge the gap. And I know folks may say, what do you mean how I bridge the gap? Because, you know, we're just coming out of a hardcore midnight ride. I like that. I like that. We're going into a time tells. I like that too. We're going into an era where we're kind of transitioning a little bit from trap music. You know, we're transitioning a little bit. But, you know, there's still a faction of people that still grow up and love trap music. Trap music has basically dominated the force for the last 15 to 20 years. So the way that our mind works is you still want to keep the traditional boom bap, but you want to add elements of trap, which will be the 808s and the low end, that kind of keeps people still in the pocket, right? So this is the way that we fuse both worlds, because we have to make something that's going to be forward thinking. You know, we have to keep thinking about, like, forward thinking of music. As producers, we have to think forward. We have to make a song that's going to last the next 10 years. I have to make a track that's going to basically, you know, if it doesn't land today or tomorrow or next week or a year from now, that it still has to have that factor to it, that it can land 3, 4, 5 years from now. You know what I mean? And a lot of our music happens that way. A lot of our music sometimes happens 3, 4 years later after we made the track. And you might be like, what happened? It's like, hey, it was just advanced. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just advanced. They got to catch up. You know what I mean? That's why I call it Future Producer Society. They got to catch up to us. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we're laying down the culture and the foundation for the next 10 years. So you just have to make sure that you're picking a soundscape that's going to matter. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm when we're talking about, especially doing sample heavy production, we're choosing samples that have certain melodicness to it. That's not even a word, but certain melodies that's going to resonate. You know what I mean? And certain instrument types that we're picking. Typically it'll be robust pianos or things that'll have heavy bass, because those things are constant throughout music. It doesn't matter if you're in the 70s or the 60s, it's the same. You know what I mean? So, dope bass lines are dope bass lines, dope drums are dope drums, dope strings are dope strings, right? Because these are the things that help to drive music, helps to drive movies, help to drive everything that that's the music bed of a lot of today's consumption. So let's lay down this 808. That's too low. So we're gonna go back the octave up. Now you can do it either way. You can go up this octave or down here. This one to me is too. This tone is it's too high to me. So we're gonna bring the G sharp down one octave, and we're gonna leave the C in the middle where it's at. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the overall 808 down into the track. Not that it's buried into it, but when you turn it up loud, you'll feel it rattling the back of your trunk. See how the game works? Yeah, let's go. save the beat. Shout out to my man Sonic Dreamlab, man. He said Midnight Ride. I like that one. We're gonna run with that. Feels like a midnight ride, like I want to go drive right now. Want to go hop in the ride right now. Blast that joint. And, we get busy, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream, man. We're live streaming everywhere. Whoa, cancel. I got a beat named Midnight Ride already. Hold on. Yeah, I got a beat named Midnight Ride. We can't do that. All right, so we're gonna do Time Tells. Shout out to my man Jerry in the building. All right, so now we're gonna work on trying to now this first sequence. You guys always know that I work from the hooks. All right, so we're gonna name this the hook, and then we're gonna double it up, make it 8 bars. Your hooks got to be 8 bars. 8-ball hooks, right? Not 12, not 16. 8-ball hooks. That is the standard. Now, if you want to do your own album with 16-ball hook, go knock yourself out. But if you want to sell music in today's landscape, you need 8-ball hooks. All right. Now, remember what I said, that a lot of these instruments, a lot of these samples are already 8 bars. So the only thing I need to do in here is I need to just go in and I need to, wherever I triggered it, at the 5th bar, I just need to go in and delete it. You know what I mean? And then it'll play all the way out without me having to do anything, significant. Just go in, highlight it, delete it. And that's probably the fastest way to get it done. And I could have just programmed it for 8 bars from the beginning, but I don't really like to program drums for 8 bars because then what happens is it leads you to do too much variation. And then that sometimes disrupts what I would call the hypnotism of music. Music has a way to create, trance-like feeling through repetition. So we don't like to change things up too often, unless you're trying to do something that's really intricate or something that's flashy that has like drum fills and all that stuff at the end. And even when you have those things going on, they're not set randomly. You know what I mean? They're set at a certain points in the song for impact. And I also want you to understand too, you want to try to sequence your beats as best as you can, the way that you want them to be sequenced when you send your beats over, because you never know if you're going to have a chance to get back into the studio to fix anything. And a lot of times they don't get fixed. A lot of times the stuff that you want fixed as a producer, you never get the opportunity to fix, right? So, just kind of depends on, people's schedules and where you are logistically. In this case, while I'm in Atlanta and people are recorded in New York, you don't really have a lot of say-so, so sometimes Mike got to run through because he's in Brooklyn and he got to, handle some of that stuff if I'm not in town. The beat that had crashed. Nah, I don't really have that. I don't really have that happening to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's very seldom that I have a beat that crashed that I gotta remake. I'm really good about saving incrementally, and then with the MPC, once you do that first save, then everything starts to do an auto save. Make it auto save every 5 to 10 minutes. Listen, you don't want your stuff to crash, bro. You really don't. Like, it's the worst feeling in the world to have your music just be lost like that. Make sure y'all signing up now. Future Producer Society, school.com. Let's go, man. Let's really work. Let's get folks in here. Let's get folks really good where they gotta go. There's a ton of opportunity, man. I'm telling you, there's a ton of opportunity, man. You just have to have the right access. And this is what I'm learning. It's like you gotta have, not that I've learned it, but I've always known it. But you just sometimes you have to get Sometimes you have to get back the realization of, man, it's just about the access, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if your music, you want to put yourself in a position where your music can get an unbiased listen. And I hope I'm saying that accurately. Like, an unbiased listen. You want to unbiased listen. If you can get that, then yeah, you'll be in good shape. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. See, we're gonna add a little bit more strings to this. We're gonna go right. So we're gonna add some more strings on it to kind of underlie what we already have. And this is the game. The game is to take samples, add real instruments, add more samples, add more real instruments. And if I'm not using the MPC, of course, we'll be using the keyboard, but I'm using the MPC because that's what's in the field of the camera view right now. But in a normal case scenario, I would be using the keyboard. But, you know, this is just part of the game. We layer stuff. We find similar sounds. We stack it. We try to make it into our own. I know folks say, oh, you sample. Yes. But you still need to make it into your own, right? So this is where we pitch, chop, add on, embellish. You know what I mean? Reverse, do what we got to do to make it our own. You know what I mean? This is the point of the game. This is music production, right? Let's go. Add that down real quick. What up? I'm gonna go into the arrangement now to check out timing. Make sure our notes are triggering where they're supposed to trigger. For everybody who wants to join our Future Producer Society community, it is now open. I have opened up the community where we will be doing more in-depth tutorials, and we will be teaching the music business for real. Real contracts, real music production tricks and techniques, different platforms, other producers, lawyer talk, music marketing, social media marketing. I'm going to take 25 years of my experience of working with hip-hop's greatest and elite, right? You have to really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Nas, Big Pun, Raekwon, Jadakiss, Prodigy and Mobb Deep, Killer Mike, Freddie Gibbs. You're not going to find producers with lists like that. I'm telling you right now. So I'm doing something that I always wanted as a producer when I was new. I wanted a mentor, and I never could get one. So I created this so that we can create that kind of relationship with folks so that folks could learn and get real information from real people doing real things. Max B. Gotta love Max B. We got more Max coming. You know, we got the Wiz Khalifa coming with Max and Wiz Khalifa. It's gonna be a lot of Max B. Let me tell you that right now. Max B about to go on a hell of a run. I just want y'all to know that. So Max B is about to be on a hell of a run. And between us and Dame Grease, we're gonna be producing a lot of that music. You know what I'm saying? So there's gonna be a lot of music coming. So and you're gonna see Max just collaborating with everybody. Because if you don't notice it like this, man, the industry is dry. So I know a lot of people are trying to figure out what's up with Max. What's this Max B thing? Listen, so every now and again, the music industry will choose someone, man, and he's the one that got chose. He's the one that got chose, man. You know, they want to see him win. He's gone through a lot, and you got the whole business rallying behind him, and that's what you see happening. So, you know, he was just at the ASAP party. You're gonna see ASAP collabs. You're gonna see A Boogie collabs. You're gonna see Rod Wave collabs, Larry June collabs. You're gonna see everybody with Max B in a hot second. Trust me as I'm telling you. Trust me as I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So, you know, I knew we was gonna lock back in when he got back home, but I didn't know we was gonna lock in like this when we got back home. So, like, I knew we was gonna lock in with him and get some joints, but man, I didn't know we was gonna lock in like this. So, shout out to Max and, you know, that whole EMG team, you know, Ty Black, everybody out there. Apex, what up, baby? That is our new manager. It's crazy right now. So what I'm gonna do with this string here, right? Is I'm gonna make it light and airy. And the way we do that is we just affects it a little bit. Give it a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay, and then I'm gonna just bury it slightly under the main string line. Nothing too crazy. I don't want it to overplay that. I just want it to kind of support it, because we already have a string line that's in the sample, but we want to support it as best as we can with what we're doing on the other side. And I'm just giving you my logic. You know, this is my logic, the way my music brain works as I'm producing these tracks. As I'm doing these tracks, I'm just telling you how my brain works. And for those who are new here, that's really the process of the live stream. Well, we were trying to understand what we were doing for the live stream, because remember we had did a run of 150 consecutive days of live streaming, right? We was streaming for half the year, you know, live streaming, building the tracks, because we knew Max was coming home November 9th. And a lot of the music that we built during those live streams are basically they're landing now. So, you know, for those who are new here, you can go back and check all of those live streams out on our YouTube, and you can start to pick, and you'll start to see the beats that, you know, like, oh, I remember when he did this one. Oh, I remember when he did this one. And then y'all be able to see it, and I'm going to start seeing if I can dig back through those lives and basically kind of create like a video that says, hey, we started like this, and then it ended like that. You know what I mean? So you can kind of see the progression of what we went from creating to getting it placed. You know, so from production to publishing, right? And that's really what the game is. We're music producers to get that music publishing, and that music publishing is your retirement plan. Trust me when I tell you. That is the retirement plan. That's what you're aiming for. You want the retirement plan. You know, you do these songs, then they'll pay you for the rest of your life if you do the right ones with the right artists. we just muted it back there. That's for the verses. Now we're gonna just copy this into the verse. We're gonna name this, and we're gonna leave where we muted as the verse. All right, and that's the first part of the verse, and we're gonna copy it again, and we're gonna make this the second part of the verse. And on this part of the verse, we most likely will pull out the bass line and add one of the string lines in, or leave one of the guitar solos in. We'll see how it plays out. But let's see how we sound with everything in it. Right? So we're going with the string overlay. All the other instruments is going. Jerry, thanks for your gift. Shout out to Jerry. Right? Let's go to the verse. The verse is going to sound like this. Right? And then when we go to the second part of the verse, we'll probably take out the bass line. Let's take out the bass line. And this is supposed to be 4 bars, not 8, so we're going to divide this in half. We added at 8. I think we got it, right? So let's go over how we sequence this. We went from the hook that has all of the instruments, then we strip it down as we go into the verse to take away the main parts of the situation that has like the strings, the high strings, the string overlay. Take out probably one of the guitars, because it's 2 guitars actually. So we take out one of those guitars, and then yeah, it is 2 guitars. That's the main one, and the high one will be for the hook. So typically, if you have samples and you got something that's a low octave and a high octave, one is going to be for the hook or the change, one is going to be for the main. So it's up to you to kind of decide which one you want to be. Typically, the high would be the hooks, but it all depends on what works. And don't lock into anything. Just take every beat as it is and try to see what works, because it may not work. It may work in one record, but it may not work in another. So we want to make sure that we're being open and flexible, and making sure that we're not being too rigid and not making stuff that's going to continue to kind of be redundant. All right, so let's go. We're going to go from the hook. Anthony Baker. to the breakdown. Back to the hook. Sounding good, people. Sounding good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. You are with multi-platinum producers, Arkatech Beatz, man. Big Pun Nas. Prodigy of Mobb Deep. Rest in peace. Jadakiss. Raekwon the Chef. The Game. I got a record with RZA, for God's sake. All right, come on, let's go. I got a record with RZA rapping on it, dog. What we talking about? Shout out to Power.
Arkatech Beatz.
Tag your beats. I'm gonna add the tag in.
Arkatech Beatz.
Arkatech Beatz.
Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Going into song mode. All right, so how we got it going is like this. We're going to start with the hook with the intro. Now, it depends on how you want to do this. Like sometimes you can create a, if I have a sample that has something different than the main, then I'll opt to make an intro. And that'll only probably go for 4 bars tops. You know what I mean? Like you really try to refrain from doing things that are over 4 bars. In this case, we're just jumping right into the hook. So because we're jumping right into the hook, we create one isolated sequence that has the track for the tag, because we want the tag to play to that first hook and that first hook only, and then we don't want to play it anyplace else. Don't grab an MPC-X until the new one come out, Free Society. Don't do it. Wait for the new one. I anticipate the new one is going to be showcased at the NAMM. So just wait for the new one and then grab the MPC-X. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even do a live 3. I would, if you were considering going to the X, then wait for the new one to come out, because that's going to come out real soon. You mean the X versus the live 2 or the X versus special? I'm not sure. I didn't have a SE. This is the SE, so I didn't have the X versus the SE. To me, I just started with the SE. I didn't start with it, but that's the one that I wound up getting. I have an MPC 2000 in the back behind me with a zip drive. Who got zip drives? Yeah, when them prices is dropping, bro, I mean that new one coming out. And you see those prices, they just trying to get rid of all the schlock. The price is coming out, man. The new one's coming out, man. And that's probably gonna be about like $2,500, give or take. Top dollar. Yeah, but the Live 2 for now, you know, the Live 2 will get it done. You know what I'm saying? For now. I had to, when I was in New York, I was using my partner's Live 2. And that joint was easy. Jerry, thank you for your gifts again, brother. Appreciate you, man. So let's see like how we did this right here, right? We did make sure y'all signing up for that portal, man. Let's get busy. We're talking about we started out with the hook with the intro. We're going into the 8-bar verse. And then I have it says verse 2. But it's not really a verse 2. It's really just a breakdown before the hook comes back in. So that's a 4 bar. So we're doing 12 bars total. It drops on the 23rd of this month. I saw some stipulations. I didn't see anything coming out from Akai that says that. I was looking the other night. I could have missed it. But then we go back into the verse, second verse, back to the hook, and then we ended off with the verse. Pardon me. Remember that this sample is hold on 1 second here. Let me I'm gonna mute this track. Just remember that these samples are 8 bars. Well, the loop we're using 8-bar loops. Or it's more than 8 bars, rather. So, because we don't want it to play further than 8 bars, we'll have to truncate it. Truncate in each one. That piano sounds great. That piano sounds really clean. I think we should be good now. So let's play the sequence. First, let's save it. Let's play the sequence from top to bottom. And I think we should be good to go. And we've effectively made the beat in about an hour. A little over an hour, right? If I wasn't running my mouth, we'd have been finished earlier.
Arkatech Beatz.
up, man. The portal is now open. School.com. Future Society. Future Producer Society. Let's go. If you haven't already signed up, man, please sign up. Sessions. They're already calendared. See that? Playing too long. Make sure it's good. I'm gonna play from the verse right here. That's how it's supposed to end. Good. Shout out to everybody that jumped into the live this evening. It is late on a Sunday. We are now past midnight. Now it's Monday morning. I want to thank everybody that jumped into the session with me. What did we learn today? We just learned how to put some of these samples together. We learned how to layer some of our music. You know, we layered some samples with some real instruments. We sequenced some things. We truncated some things. We moved some things around a little bit, added some 808s, did our drum programming, and listen, like that's really the workflow right now. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of depends on what we're working with. But as you can see, it really all is based on the kind of samples we use, etc. Right now, if you join into the Future Producer Society at school.com, Future Producer Society. I do have a sample challenge going on. I put a sample up. Of course, it's courtesy of Splice. I do want folks to jump in there, and I want to see what people cook up, man. You know, we'll be going over that probably in a week or so. So if you haven't already joined into that, man, join into it, man. It's free to join, man. It's free to join, man. It's free to join, man. Of course, if there are extras there, of course, and because the extras take time to make, you know, we do appreciate your support on those. But again, it's free to join, and then some of the other stuff is going to be behind certain walls, you know. But at the same time, it's for people who are serious. If you're serious about it, let's get into it. I can guarantee you this, you know, in a year's time from now, I can guarantee that folks will be, one, releasing records, probably have AI artists. 3, you know, may have sold some music. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, then you'll know how to protect your music, monetize your music, copyright, publishing. Like, you'll be in a position where you can't get taken advantage of. And what I'm realizing and noticing, man, is like these guys out here, they're like devious toward music producers, man. It's a shame, you know, some of the stuff that you see these guys carrying on with. But we're gonna get it fixed. You know what I'm saying? We just need the right advocate, man, and we just need the right amount of leverage with the right amount of folks into a certain situation, and we'll be able to turn this tide on some of these guys that are acting like idiots. But anyhow, that's the session for tonight, man. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I did put a sample up. It's in one of the posts. So you just pick the sample, and you know what I'm saying. Once you into the portal, just pick the sample, man. It's in one of those posts that I put a sample up that I want people to see if they can rock with it. So see what you cook up, my brother, and we'll check it out. But until we get up, I see y'all. I see y'all in the portal. You know, I'll be checking that. I'll be interacting with folks. Folks, introduce yourselves. This is gonna be our community. This is where we're gonna be building. Iron sharpens iron. And look, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. Let's go. Peace, y'all.